Hello, my name is Rafique Patel. I'm the Senior Partner of Bond Adams Solicitors, and today I'm going to talk about corporate and commercial work in relation to the agreements that you should have in place when setting up a business. The first thing you need to consider is what kind of legal structure you are going to have in place. For example, are you going to be a limited company? Are you going to be a limited liability partnership? Or are you going to be a sole trader? There are advantages and disadvantages to both. I'm now going to look at the limited liability partnership and the limited company as one. If sadly something happened in terms of a claim against you or something like that, then there is some protection because your personal assets may not be at risk. So, for example, the limited company or the limited liability partnership would stand on its own. I mentioned protection earlier, and also banks are used to dealing with limited companies and limited liability partnerships. So when it comes to funding, it can be easier. I'm now going to talk about sole traders. Sole traders means you are personally at risk if you are trading. The next part is what type of agreement should you have in place. For example, if you are a limited company or a limited liability partnership, there should be an agreement between yourselves to legislate and regulate all the matters that are normal between partners or directors. For example, a shareholders agreement will set out what each shareholding is. It will set out who can make major decisions. It shall set out voting rights. It will set out what is to happen when you have a dividend. I'll now talk about a partnership agreement. A partnership agreement will deal with, similarly to a shareholders agreement, what each partner is and is not going to do, their investment, the holidays, their role, who can access the bank account, when people can take out money, and all other matters. So it's critical that you have a shareholders agreement or a partnership agreement in place. We now turn to what you normally consider are contracts of employment. A director's service agreement is something that you have with a director, and a contract of employment is something that you have with an employee. It's important to set out the job role, the pay, any overtime, responsibilities, duties, a job description, and liability. So those are all the matters that you should have in place when it comes to setting up a business. The final part is registration. You may be required to have a VAT registration. You will need to have accounts in place. You will need to have a bank account and all of the other matters. But the above sets out all the legal agreements that you must have in place when setting up a new structure. Thank you.